Okay guys, it is time for a new update here on the Bitcoin price. As you can see, I'm not remaining in any positions currently. I will exactly share you my entire closed P&L for the last 48 hours in a couple of minutes. We closed all of our short positions at the $93,000 level and now we are looking for a new entry. So let's not waste any more time. I want to jump right into the charts because there are exact price levels that we keep an eye on to know how the price will continue moving this week. Because as you guys know, I told you on Sunday that we need to be extremely aware of the fact that a bearish weekly start for this current week is highly likely and that we may even retest the lower $90,000 levels. That's why I was also in a short position, right? So I want to update you on everything that happened since my video and also what to expect next now, because Bitcoin actually was able to luckily push back above. And this is something that was amazingly done by the bulls here pretty much. So applause to all our hodlers that are holding their Bitcoin, not selling them even in a panic dump. And also to all the new people seeing this as an opportunity to buy in and get a nice entry for their hodl portfolio. We need to say the bulls really pushed up our daily candle beautifully back above our downward sloping support. And for me currently, for the bearish side, guys, we are still definitely looking to not close a daily candle below this downward sloping resistance, because if we're closing a daily candle below that, currently it's at around $97,000. I can already tell you we will see a slower and more prolonged correction down to this support level, which would then at this time be in the high $80,000 levels. And if we see then any bearish continuation coming in here or even a break of this support, it could get bad for Bitcoin. So the best case would be if we are not closing a daily candle as said below this $97,000 level. That's still very relevant to us. On the upside, and this is something I find quite interesting, because I would love to see Bitcoin retesting the 11-year resistance that Bitcoin never broke in the history of Bitcoin to the upside, that we can finally confirm if this bull market might need a little bit more time to develop before we can break through and we can have a nice short opportunity here, or if we finally can break through and something dramatically changes for the cryptocurrency market, also long-term chart-wise for the monthly and the weekly time frame, which would then definitely lead us to go to $125,000 or even higher within this year. So this is still something I'm waiting for, and luckily the ETF inflows and outflows are also not looking all too bad. Although we had this massive and sharp correction to the downside, we can see that actually we didn't really have any significant outflows on the Bitcoin ETF. So this is a good sign for our spot market, and the day after was immediately filled with some nice green numbers again. So I have to say the inflows are looking quite stable currently as well still. So there's not much in the way for Bitcoin besides a few small resistance levels, and we will talk about Ethereum in a second as well. But first let's take a look at what we can keep an eye on now. And in my opinion, this is actually pretty simple currently, because at the end of the day we have our 21, our 50, right, our 21, our 50-day and our 200-day moving average. And for me, there is a combination of resistances that I'm keeping an eye on. For one, it's the Fibonacci retracement level. Also, guys, sorry that I don't have a face cam, that I didn't buy a face cam yet again, but I'm sadly also sick, so I thought it doesn't make a big difference. And on Monday I didn't have time because the market was moving so crazy. As said, we will jump into the trades I did and my closed P&L history in a minute. But as you can see, first step would be to get back above like the $99,000 level where our 50-day moving average is. If we can close a daily candle above that, maybe the 2 days or the tomorrows, that would be the first sign that Bitcoin is trying to retest here our 0.618 Fibonacci, and with that also the 21 daily moving average. And if we can get above both of these, so if we can break on the daily time frame the $102,000 to $103,000 level, I am actually pretty sure that then this time we will not see a rejection at our old daily highs anymore, because Bitcoin should, especially with this massive wick, now have washed out enough weak hands to actually push through these old daily highs here. And this would definitely mean that Bitcoin is retesting the $111,000 to $112,000 level, and this could get quite interesting. First of all, I think it might be a very great short opportunity with even a little bit of a bigger risk, but in general also the break of the resistances will be a pretty nice long opportunity, So we can open up a long position, hedge it with a short here. If we break through, we can scale up the long and exit the short in a small loss that then the scaled up long will easily cover, or we can actually wait and see if we get rejected. If we get rejected and break significant support, we can close our long in profit, and then we already have a short that we can scale up. So this would be one of my maybe long-term entry strategies then, depending on how the price moves. But first of all, these are pretty much all the levels you can keep an eye on. Another thing is that the market makers have a little bit more of an incentive to push the price higher, as our liquidation heat map still has some significant liquidations between the $106,000 and $107,000 level. So even for the market makers, retesting the 111 to 112 could be quite interesting, no matter if we break it to the upside or not. And in general, I mean, what we don't want to see is that Bitcoin is just now pretty much staying below our 50-day moving average. We are not really bouncing off of this support, but we are more or less just continuously trading for a couple of days above this support, because we need to keep in mind that then the price would slowly bleed to the downside. And if we're taking a look at the weekly time frame, we need to keep in mind, yes, this weekly candle currently looks quite good, but in the case that it closes below its old weekly candle highs, yeah, if it closes below the old weekly candle highs, which was also the indicator with this weekly candle for our big correction to be expected in the beginning of the week, which we got on Monday, right? We need to keep in mind that if we are closing here again below the $98,500 level, pretty much this weekly candle will look bullish, but the likelihood of the next weekly candle anyway still kicking off bearish then is extremely high once again. So we need to see some sort of a recovery within the next couple of days. So let's see and wait how the charts develop also on the smaller time frames. Now after this very aggressive wick, we can take a look at that over the next couple of days then again as well. And for Ethereum, I mean, there's nothing to say. I told you in my last video that a high indication of a big bearish weekly start will be that Ethereum is not able to close above the $3,030 level, and that it will get very dangerous for Ethereum as well. And I mean, we can see that Ethereum corrected all the way down to the $2,000 level. I even opened a Ethereum long here. And this is why now, as always, make sure to smash up a like. Don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And now I want to talk about my last trades, because I have to say this correction, a lot of people got wrecked, and I didn't get wrecked. I made profit, but it is much worse and much less profit than originally should have been possible, because I really messed up one or two times here in this very volatile times, which can even happen to me sometimes. But we are sharing our closed P&L history as always. We closed $7,000 of our Bitcoin short at 93,700. We closed additional $24,000, so additional $31,000 in profit we closed from our Bitcoin short at $93,000. At the same time, I actually opened an Ethereum short trade with don't be confused why it says here 20.5x. It was originally a 10x trade, but actually when the price was wicking down, I actually scaled it up a little bit to keep my liquidation price at the lower end. But Ethereum was actually, while Bitcoin was already reversing, and that's why also I entered into Ethereum, because I had a trade on Bitcoin still. I was taking profits at the time from my Bitcoin trade, so I couldn't jump into another position, so I wanted to do the same on ETH. And as the support here was coming in pretty soon, I assumed that Ethereum might be bouncing a little bit earlier. But Ethereum had a 15-minute candle that alone dumped over 10% exactly pretty much after my entry. So my entry, in the moment I was planning to scale up, my trade was already gone. So the trade was with a 10x, and when I was starting to scale up, the trade was pretty much already gone again, because we saw this massive 10%, wait, this is not the correct 15-minute candle, I was about to say, because we saw this massive dump here on the 15-minute, and I immediately opened the trade and bam, I was already out of the trade again, which was insane. But sadly, we lost $20,000 there, so this put us back at only $12,000 additional profit remaining. Then we lost another $1,300 on a very nicely placed Ethereum 3x leverage long, guys. You can believe it or not, I longed the $2,400 level. I scaled up the trade a little bit with a 3x leverage. It was supposed to be a swing trade, an Ethereum swing trade, which would have went amazing, right? It was supposed to be a new entry for an Ethereum swing trade that I wanted to scale up. But sadly, I wanted to finally go to sleep. I put my stop loss in a profit and bam, we hit the stop loss by like $2. So even this Ethereum trade, which would have recovered the Ethereum loss, got unluckily stopped out. And then we made at least a little bit of profit with that one. We made small profits. So overall, we didn't really have any great great profits left here. Maybe like $15,000, $16,000, $17,000. I mean, yes, the Bitcoin short brought us profits before, but now just in the recent 48 hours. And then we had an Ethereum, a Bitcoin long position, which was stopped out in a profit. As you can see here, it was $1 million in size. We had a 500K and then $1 million in size BTC long position, which was also placed quite well. But as you can already guess, guys, I was just a little bit too aggressive with my stop losses for some reason. We opened it here, I scaled it up a little bit, and we got stopped out actually. And then I saw that this pattern is weakening anyway, so we wouldn't have made any profit with this long anyways. So I decided to jump into this short trade here and posted you guys that I'm looking for a new long entry in the low $97,000 to $98,000. Yeah, so I opened my short here, expecting the price to fall lower so I can close the small short and go into a new long entry. What happened? I actually got stopped out or wigged out by $300. So this trade actually made then a $12,000 loss. So actually, guys, with all this correction, although we had a beautiful short position, now in the last 48 hours, I stupidly lost around with the Ethereum trade and this very, very not well placed stop loss of this Bitcoin trade. Almost the entire profit we made from the short, which is not optimal, but at least it's no loss. As you guys know, I'm always sharing everything very transparently with you guys, so you can also understand my decision making. But in general, the plan now, if we are able to break, if we're breaking here below, we are closing a daily candle below, this would be a new short entry for me. I expect a pretty slow bleed to the downside, as already said. If we're able to break above the 50-day moving average, I might jump into a small long position, depending on how long it would also be till the weekly candle then would close above the $99,000 level, which would be a bullish weekly candle close. And especially if we get above the 0.618 and the 21-day moving average, I think it might be a good swing long opportunity, because prices then can rise to our weekly resistances at quite sure if the audio maybe just got interrupted, but I just hope that it didn't. But maybe it did, guys. Sorry. Small connectivity issue here right now, guys. Sorry about that. Let me try to fix that. Yeah, let's hope that it's working now again. Sorry, but I was anyways almost finished here. We can open a short position here. If we then break to the upside, we are risk neutral. We can scale up our long position, exit the short in a small loss, and realize what we lost with the long and continue the rise to the upside, because this would then mean that we are breaking through the all-time weekly resistance, right, that Bitcoin has never broken through in its history. And if we get rejected, we have a nice short trade prepared. We can see what happens on the smaller time frames, take profits from our long, and have a beautiful short entry. This could be a little bit of a long-term trade setup that I might execute over the next weeks, depending on how the price goes. But we will probably also take some more short-term scalp positions. I will keep you up to date on that. But for now, guys, we are going to see us in the next video. I hope the audio didn't crash multiple times here in this video. I will play it back and hope that's not the case. But for now, we are going to see us in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, activate the bell, and I will, as soon as I'm healthy again, I will go and buy a new face cam. No worries. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.